Hello and welcome. So, here at Get Ahead Institute, we have decided to give you an introductory video series on the different courses that you'll be having for this year. Particularly in biomedical sciences, we're going to be dealing with how many courses you're having this year, and this will be tackling anatomy for biomedical sciences. And also, this also applies to pharmacy. So, if you're a pharmacy student, this also applies to you. So, let's get right into it. All right. So, what is biomedical sciences? So, biomedical sciences, according to textbook definition, we are going to find that is a set of sciences applying portions of natural science or formal science or both to develop knowledge, interventions, or technology that are of use in healthcare. So, basically, you are using science in the healthcare setting. That is basically what biomedical sciences is. You can maybe go further, but it's not like they even examine you on this. But it's just something that you need to know as a biomedical sciences. What exactly do you apply science in the field of healthcare? So some may define it as evidence-based medicine. Where does the evidence-based medicine come from? Because science is when you observe something, when you experiment, and then you get results. That evidence is what we are using as a basis for the diagnosis of disease in healthcare. So that's what we are terming biomedical sciences as a whole. So since this video is just tailored to cater for the courses, I won't go deeper into what biomedical sciences or what pharmacy is, but let's just get right into it. So the courses that you'll be having for this year in biomedical sciences at UMZA, going to Ridgeway, are human anatomy, human physiology, metabolic biochemistry, and genetics, or biochem for short, biomedical techniques, or biotech for short, and fundamentals of biomedical sciences, or we might just be calling it fundamentals. So these are the courses that you'll be having in biomedical sciences at UNZA in second year. So the course that we are going to be talking about in this video is human anatomy. And like I said, this one is the same for pharmacists. So even pharmacists can watch this video and get a brief overview of what this course is going to be all about and how to study it and the like. So let's get right into that. So human anatomy is one of those core courses that you're going to have. It's like one of those foundational important courses. So human anatomy is basically the study of the structures of the human body. And you're going to be dealing with the human body, that is, it's human anatomy. So it's divided into three components: gross anatomy, histology, and embryology. So for now, you don't have to worry about this, of course, but gross anatomy, just to know, gross anatomy is the study of macroscopic or the visible structures that you see on a human being. Let's say an arm, for example. If you remove the skin and the muscles and you remain with the bones, you study the bones. If you see the muscles, if you remove the skin and see the muscles, these are structures that are visible. You don't have to use a microscope. So you call that gross anatomy. For histology, you are dealing with the study of anatomy at the cellular or the tissue levels. Okay, those microscopic sub-levels, that's where you're dealing with histology. So you see topics fall under gross anatomy or histology depending on how the topic is. So they won't really tell you that, okay, now you're learning about gross, now you're learning about, you just see that, okay, this is gross aspect and this is the histological aspect of something. And the embryological aspect is where you're talking about human development from ovum fertilization all the way through to fetal stage. So the development of human being just after fertilization all the way up to the time of parturition, of course, that is during birth. So these are the different segments that you're going to be learning about, but it's not like you're supposed to know, okay, this is anatomy, this is embryology. But yes, you have to know that just to have a good spatial orientation. That means the orientation of the space in your head, so to say, so that you know where to put each of those, so that you don't confuse this, you don't confuse that, but you know what all of this is as you get along. This is just a brief overview. All right, so the study of human development is what you're going to start with, basically embryology. So you're going to be introduced to the cell. Most of the courses you're going to start with the cell. Actually, I don't know if biochemistry also has that, but physiology you're going to learn about the cell. In anatomy, you're going to learn about the cell. So after the cell, you talk about cell division here and there, and then you now start to embryology, human development, and your test one is going to have embryology specifically. Yeah, unless your lecturer runs fast and teaches you other things, but usually the first test is going just to have embryology. All right, so moving further, mode of delivery for anatomy lectures are usually physical. They're always physical, if at all. There's rarely an online lecture for anatomy. And then you're going to have 3 to 4 tests per academic year in the second year of yours, and you write the same test with pharmacy, like I say. This video caters for both. The test will make up 40% of your final year. The tests, all of them combined, 3 or 4. Whether you write 3 or whether you write 4, the CA will be out of 40, having all of those tests combined. And then format is MCQs. You have structured questions, which they might give you a diagram, and then they ask you questions on it. And yeah, it can be combined with diagrams where you have to draw or label the diagram, and sometimes essays are used scarcely, but at the final exam you always expect essays. But in your test usually it's just MCQs, and then when he has time he'll give you structured questions and diagrams, but mostly expect MCQs in your test. All right, so pointers, like I said, anatomy is one of the core courses, one of those core courses you have to pay particular attention to. Is some things you have to understand, some things you have to memorize. This is a very important point. You find structures that you're just going to have to memorize. You're just going to have to know that this structure is called this. Like, you don't need to have an explanation. Then there are some things that you have to understand, like processes. There are some things that you have to understand in case they ask you a question that involves a mechanism that you have to understand. All of that. So things you need to understand, things you need to memorize, balance these two up. Okay, anatomy is one of those courses that they complain that it's like it's a lot of stuff, but just know how to balance yourself when it comes to this, and then it needs a good chunk of your attention. That's exactly what I mean when I was saying earlier. All right, so how to study anatomy. This is the last part of this video. How to study anatomy. So anatomy, for you to do well, to study anatomy, and for you to do well, first of all, you need to attend lectures and take notes. Okay, some lecturers give pointers on high yield material that they can access on. So they might tell you that, okay, this material, I'm going to assess you on it. I'm going to bring a question on this. Some others actually tell you that, okay, don't mind this, I won't even ask you on this. So such pointers are very important to guide you as you are studying, what to focus on, and the like. Okay, so attend your lectures and take notes. Your lecturer for second year anatomy will actually do this a lot. Okay, so please attend your lectures and make sure. So use lecture slides to understand the layout of the topic. Don't use lecture slides as studying for studying. No, please don't do that. Use lecture slides as like more like to create a mental map in your head. So okay, this topic is about this topic is about that. And then use recommended textbook for getting the full information. I always tell people you cannot underestimate the power of the textbook when it comes to anatomy. Anatomy, you just have to use the textbooks for you to get the full data. Because if you use slides, you have a lot of knowledge gaps. Okay, you'll notice this, that if you just study slides and you go to questions, you will not be able to answer most of them, because most of them look like you're talking about stuff that you don't know. And most people complain that no, it's not there in the notes, but actually it's there in the books. And then the recommended textbooks for each course you'll be given, rather for each segment you'll be given, um, but the ones that I recommend, the ones that we recommend, and even your lecturers will probably recommend this. For gross anatomy, you can use 2 of them, and others they might give you as well. Principles of Anatomy and Gray's Anatomy, you can use these books. And then histology, you use John Creer's textbook of histology. This one is the one you're going to spend more time in. Then embryology, you use Langman's embryology. So the way it's laid out, your histology takes about we can say 50% of your coursework. Embryology, let's say, takes about 35%, and then that one will take is it 15 that is remaining? Yes, 15%. So gross anatomy, as you can see, it won't be much for you guys, but the majority will lie on this histology. So pay particular attention to histology. Then embryology will be like 35%, and your first test will be entirely on this, while your second and third test will be on histology. Your last test will be a mixture of a bit of gross and a bit of histology as well. Like, in fact, a lot of histology and just a bit of gross, even the second test as well. So you can look at the distribution like that. So the other thing is to always go through the end of topic questions in the recommended books for histology and gross, particularly. And then for embryology, use BRS. There's a book called BRS Embryology. It has questions, MCQs that help you understand a particular topic. So you're going to have to use that for embryology. All right. And then another thing, which is very important, I didn't put this in there, go through questions, past papers, pamphlets, etc. This is very important because if you meet a question that you've never answered before, or something similar to what you've seen before, it's very hard to answer such a question at UNZA. I'm sure you have had such an experience in first year where if you've not seen the question before, it's next to impossible for you to answer it. Okay, it's high chances that you will fail that question. So go through questions, they help you bridge the knowledge gaps, they help you understand things better, and they help you just to have that experience in case you meet similar questions, because questions are repeated sometimes and just different versions of that same uh, question are asked. So if you score points like that. All right, then the final part is how does Get Ahead Institute help you with this? Like, how do you study anatomy? How do we come in? Alright, so if you register with Get Ahead Institute, we're going to help you with video explainers, tutorials, and classes with additional information from the recommended textbooks, apart from the lecture slides, of course, and our classes are always recorded. So the tutorial and video explainers, we go deep and bring you all the information that is in the recommended textbooks, and depending on our experience with the people who have tutored up to this far, with the experience with your lecturer, of course, because he has been our lecturer before. For some of us, we find that we have good knowledge on exactly what to focus on. So our video explainers are well tailored for that. In case you need that, we have question review series. Like we said, go through enough questions. So we have question review sessions, which are also recorded as on our drive. We have a drive where we put all of the material. So the question review sessions, we have quizzes, we have the materials that we use for these question review sessions. Like, instead of you having to look for past papers, we bring everything right to you. We solve past papers. So we have solved past papers. We have question banks that we have gathered thousands and thousands of questions, so to say, where you guys, all you have to do is just go to the question banks, and you answer questions and the answers are there. You know how easy it is for you to quickly assess yourself. When you answer a question, you or maybe you answer a set of questions and then go check the answers and then you mark yourself. You know how quickly you learn through that. So there are question banks, a good number of questions in those question banks that you can leverage. Okay. Quizzes to assess yourself already mentioned. We do give quizzes like around the weekends, particular weekends, so that at least we are gauging how well people are doing. The materials are well organized on the drive. The videos for the tutorial classes, the videos for the review sessions, and the files for the review sessions themselves. The notes that we use different notes apart from the ones that you use from your lecturer, but our material is always tailored to that. So what your lecturer focuses on is what we focus on too, plus any other things that we think is important, but we have our own material and it's all organized in the drive. And then there's regular support from the tutors. That means that anytime you message the tutor, he gets back to you as soon as they can. Like you can, if you're studying and you're stuck somewhere, you need help with maybe a particular concept, they'll be glad and ready to uh, help you with that. And then personalized guidance on how to navigate your academics. This is, of course, another additional advantage we do offer apart from just the general uh, support. We just try to narrow it down, like to you specific as an individual. How do you navigate your academics? We tailor everything to you. We narrow it down to you and we help you in that direction. That is how Get Ahead Institute, in a brief summary, that's how we would help you. So you get access to all of this, the drive with the material. And one other thing that I forgot to say, the material that you find on the drive, it's not only for before this year. So last year's materials are there, like the entire year's materials. So that means if you want to study ahead, the videos are already there, the topics are already there. If you want to uh, like preparations for test one, for example, you find that all of the material is already there. So there's no excuse really. Everything is just well organized and ready for you to utilize and get very best of grades. All right. So to get access to our catalog, to register, it's only 70 kwacha per course, and the courses that we offer for biomedical sciences as of yet is biochemistry, anatomy, physiology, and biotechnics. All right. So for now, that will be it for this video. Look out for the next one.